Okay.
But you know what, I don't want them hit,
Right.
which one of the neighbor's kids almost hit one the other day, because he came over Saturday.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a couple different things. So that's where we stand.
Okay.
I'm sure you have some input.
Little one got out. I got informed today when I went over there to feed him. Dylan said the little one got out. I fixed it.
What was your name?
Eric.
Eric? Okay.
I figured out how he was getting out. They dug underneath the one section, and he was getting through on the second layer of the hog paneling. So I wrapped tin all the way around it so they can not get out anymore.
Okay.
I completely sealed it off.
You know, not that I don't appreciate that effort, but you don't live there.
No, I'm there every day. I feed them and water them every day.
So these are the city limits, pigs? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the lady right down Cimarron has, well, which is completely on city limits, also has animals too.
Like what animals, you know?
There's donkey, horses. I don't know what else is out there.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything more you want to add, or?
Just that they're potbelly pigs. They're registered through the Potbelly Pig Association. They're insured.
How many pigs do you have?
There's 4 adults and then there's 3 babies. There was more, but they're being sold. They're going away.
So they've bred in the past and have babies?
Yeah, they weren't supposed to. They were living in my house. They're my pets. They're potty trained. They're litter box trained. But I'm renovating. Bruce has been in my house. He could tell you that I'm completely gutting it. It's actually Lori's house. I'm renting it from her.
Oh, okay.
And I'm completely redoing the inside. And I just couldn't have them in there while I'm doing this.
Sure. Jason, do you want to add to this? I'm assuming you got involved?
I have been involved extensively in this. It started back in May when Chief Smith was still here before I returned from my leave. And they were living in Mr. Affolter's house inside city limits on 5th Avenue South, at which time he was informed that he needed to get rid of them and get them out of city limits. He then moved them to another residence within city limits that I later located them at in the first part of September. I advised him again he needed to get rid of them and they couldn't be in city limits. It took a little bit of convincing and a little time, but eventually he moved them to a farm outside of city limits in the countryside. And according to Mr. Affolter's statement to me on Friday, he moved them back to a residence within city limits about 3 weeks ago. Our city ordinance is very clear that, according to 1709.50, that no person can have swine within city limits unless they procure a swine license prior to moving them into town. And there's multiple other aspects of it. They have to notify all surrounding landowners that have to give permission for it as well. And none of these things have been completed by the owner of the pigs.
Can I ask you, why did you move them back to town if they were out of town?
They were at Lori's.
I can answer that. They were at my in-laws, my husband's parents' place,
Okay.
and my father-in-law allowed them to stay there until he could find someplace to keep them at, and he didn't realize that Dylan's property was considered in town when Dylan gave permission.
Because that lady at the end of the road has animals.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dylan gave permission that, yeah, you can keep the pigs out here, and Mr. Affolter did not realize at the time that it's still in the city limits,
Right.
because it's so far out of town.
And if you look up a potbelly pig, it's not labeled as swine. It's actually labeled as a pet.
Well, not for nothing, but Dylan doesn't own that place either, does he?
His foster mom, Brenna's mom, I can't remember her name. She comes there on the weekends. She's the one that gave the main permission.
So here's what I'm going to say is I'm you know, open up for the council to have a little discussion, and obviously, we're not gonna vote tonight, but it's clear we have an ordinance, and you need to follow that ordinance. If you need a copy of it, Jason can give you one, or Lacey can get you a copy of it, you know, until it brings brought forward for the accordance with the ordinance, you know, obviously, that's where I'm gonna be leaning at. I don't know how the council feels about this, I know we're not making a decision, but anybody have anything you wanna add? All right, well, thank you for, at least talking about it, but like I said, I find the copy of the ordinance, and you're gonna have to go however that ordinance is there. And so here's the deal, we do have we have been seeing a lot of more animal problems in the city, and it's really, I shouldn't say wasting, but it's taking a lot of resources out of the city. It's not just yours, it's animals, and so what's happening is that we're gonna have to hire another officer to come help with this. And guess who's gonna pay for it? People in the city. You know, and hiring an officer, you can figure anywhere between 90 and 100,000 probably. So taxes are gonna go up, so we need to keep the animals down to where, that's why we have ordinances. So they can work on speed, they can work on school stuff, they can work on drugs, you know, theft, burglaries, and not dealing with these animals continuously, which I think Jason informed me before the meeting that he's been really working a lot on animals. So we gotta figure this out, and it's not gonna, I know I don't wanna get my taxes go up, I reside here. I don't know if any of you guys do, but.
We used to have 3 officers.
Yeah, we did, but that all got taken away at one point, you know? And then when that happens, they put the budget down, so now you gotta go back up with the budget again. So, yeah, I'd like to have 5, honestly, you know,
I
but,
was happy with 3.
but you know, right now it's not in the budget. We got 2 full-times budgeted right now, so. All right,
One thing,
go ahead.
when Jason gives them what they need to have, would there be a timetable then for
Well,
them to
I
adhere to that policy?
I would say that I would do it, personally, I'd be, being he's violating it, I would wanna get it brought up, but we can't make a decision, and I think Jason will work on that.
Even knowing that a potbelly pig is labeled as a pet, not a swine?
Well, I think that's up to argument of what the city ordinance says, whether it's a pet or a swine, you know what I mean?
I mean, because when they were living in my house,
The snake is a pet too, some people think big snakes are pets, or, you know, an elephant could be a pet.
I mean, when Ron was an officer, when they were in my house, it was fine.
Right.
It was when I started renovating, they were on the outside of my house. That's when it
Right.
became an issue with the neighbor.
Well, and I think Ron maybe overseen that portion of it, because it still needs, there's a process we have to go through with those. And we had a neighbor come in and ask for extra dogs, that was denied. You know, and the thing is it's a snowball effect, we let you do it, and then the next person will do it, next person will do it, next you know, we got a big mess that we can't handle. We need to cut it off at some point, do the proper steps, you know, there's steps there that you have to go about, so.
I would also interject here that it's extremely frustrating to have to be able to deal with or not deal with, as the case may be, the property owner. You know, all due respect, you know, it's hard enough to deal with a neighbor who owns the property, but it's 10 times harder to deal with somebody who doesn't live there. So, you know, I would, you know, respectfully ask you to think about how you would feel if one of your neighbor's property or neighboring properties had actions or people or whatever that were potentially or damaging your property. And they said, well,
That's why I came to you.
I appreciated that and I respect it and I thank you for that. But, you know, at the same time, you know, our neighborhood, people know that we're verbal, and so then, you know, like I said, we have people come to us asking us what's up. I don't know you from Jack. I don't know anybody there, really, because they come and go. But, so that brings the frustration level higher, because you're not dealing with the person who you think you should be dealing with. is what I would say.
And Holly, you do know that there, you can do a civil action on criminal damage to property. or
I know,
any-
I know that,
so-
and you know, he respectfully came this afternoon and apologized,
Right.
and I appreciated that, and we had a chat. You know, I just feel like, you know, whether they're pets or not is debatable. You
But
know,
all
maybe
those-
if they were kept in your house, they would be a
Right.
pet, but when they're kept in a pig pen, they're not a pet.
Right, and it all boils down to is that every pet owner has to be responsible for their
Exactly,
animals.
and
They have
so,
to
you know,
be-
that's like, you know, we've
Yeah.
all had people come and,
And it sounds like you're making steps, I'm not knocking you on that, but we do need to follow that ordinance, so get a copy of that. But,
As far as timeline, to answer Steve's question, I had initially dealt with this on Friday, last Friday, and I advised Eric as well as the residents of the property where their pigs are staying at, that they needed to be removed by today. And there hasn't been any effort made towards that yet, so I advised them they need to be moved, or they decided if they went by today, so. That was the timeline I gave them. It's up to you guys if you want me to extend that, but otherwise that's the timeline I'm looking at, being as he already knew that from twice before that they weren't allowed inside the city limits. And whether he read a plat book incorrectly or not, it doesn't negate the fact that they are in the city limits.
And I can read the ordinance as well if you guys want, because they are currently in violation of the ordinance. Jason has cited them or is planning to cite.
do you need her to read the ordinance? You do need her?
I don't know what the ordinance is.
Okay, she'll read it out.
Swine license. Any person wishing to procure a swine license must make an application in writing to the city council. The application shall specify the number of swine to be kept, the location where swine will be kept, the amount of land owned by the applicant within the city limits. Upon receipt of the application, the city council will set the matter for a public hearing at a regular meeting. The applicant shall give 10 days' notice in writing of the hearing to the owners and occupants of all adjoining property and furnish the city council with proof of the notice. The city council, by majority vote, may, after hearing, issue a swine license if it finds that no nuisance will be created by keeping the swine. City council may impose the terms and conditions as it deems necessary to prevent the creation of a nuisance. So the swine license shall be valid for a period of 1 year.
Can you find a place to put them out of town until you resolve this?
I don't have nowhere else to
There's no
go.
farmer or anybody that would let you put them out there?
I'm not from around here. I just moved up here last year.
Okay. What got you to bring pigs to town?
We saw one in the paper and I got them, and then a friend of ours that we know, had one and her boyfriend was gonna shoot it. And I just couldn't see that, so I took him in and,
So a little word of advice, I get it, but a little word of advice from now on, when you get an animal, come check with Lacey first. Make sure that we're even allowing them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, I would say, you know, we're not gonna, I don't think we even need to make a motion on it. I think, our ordinance should be passed and we need to follow that.
One other thing, just so the council is aware, I think it's pertinent to it. I understand Mr. Affolter considers them pets, and he'd keep them in his house if he could. But, I mean, I was out there and saw them on Friday, took pictures of them. The large one that I saw is probably 300 pounds, and the smaller ones are probably 100 pounds each, which.
The smaller
so
ones?
there's 7 of them, I mean, that's gonna fill half of this council chamber's room with just pigs. You know, I don't know how you could consider that a pet or keep it in your house.
The biggest of the smaller ones, I mean, I could run home and get the vet paperwork. The biggest, the smaller one's 40 pounds. It's 41.6 to be exact.
Well, I'm gonna go revert back to the ordinance. You gotta follow the ordinance.
So where do I apply for that? So I gotta apply for it
Yeah,
here
come
and then
tomorrow.
give notices?
Come tomorrow after the meeting, because we got other things we gotta do here, but come
Yes, sir.
tomorrow after the meeting, talk to Lacey. She will direct you what you have to do, but
Yes, sir.
I would say move them out of town for now. Get them somewhere else until you're not in more violation,
Okay.
you know, okay?
Yes,
We
sir.
have been actively searching for someplace.
Okay,
where he can keep
you're not even on the agenda here. You're supposed to sign in and talk, remember I said that? So, we're gonna keep moving on. Committees, police hiring.
Just a quick update, we are still in the interview process. We will be hopefully determining who the final candidates are towards the end of this week. So just a quick update. Oh, Eric, did you want this? This is the ordinance. Yep. So that's the update.
Okay. Any new business brought forward? Council forum, any council has anything they wanna talk about? I do. Happy birthday this month.
Oh, thank you.
It's not here yet, but we won't have a meeting before
You're not
that.
supposed to remind me anymore. I'm getting
Well,
old.
I was meaning to do that with all our employees, but I stuck it and I forgot where I put it and then I found it today. So I looked at it, I'm like, oh, Amy's gonna have one.
But thank you.
All right.
I think we have also one more. I think Lacey and the police,
Jason and I both just had birthdays.
you know.
Okay, what,
I sang happy birthday to Darcy, literally.
you know what?
And I missed these two, so.
I should have Darcy put them on the agenda every month. For that month, put their name down and their birthday, so we know just to tell them happy birthday. Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday.
All right, upcoming events. Tuesday is tomorrow, November 6th, it's election day. Gonna be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Lacey, good luck to this day again. I know you're doing a lot of hours.
Thanks.
Just an FYI, I am off Thursday and Friday, for real.
Okay.
And then Monday, we're closed for Veterans
And
Day.
Noah will bring you donuts this time. Last time I brought them a box of donuts, they already had a bigger box of donuts. So you,
I bet we'll end up with none this time.
well, if you do, call me or text me, I'll bring you something. All right, City Hall is closed on Veterans Day. It'll be Monday, November the 12th. The next, special council meeting and workshop is gonna be on November 15th at 4:30. And the City Hall will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Be Thursday and Friday, November 22nd and 23rd. Truth in Taxation public hearing will be on November 10th. December 10th, sorry, at 6 p.m. And it's before the regular council meeting. The regular council meeting will be on December 10th at 6:30. And with that, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Reagan, looking for a second.
I will second that.
Second by Carlson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.